They say never. I say never tell me what to do. A person will never put you in a position above them. That's never a lie, always true. Success never comes without risk, and risk never comes without fear. YouTube is a smoke and mirror, never how it appear.
Yo, I think it's pretty funny to me how I be scrolling on YouTube and I see everybody complaining. Well, I probably shouldn't say everybody because I'm sure it's not everybody, but I see a lot of people complaining about the price of diesel. And honestly, I don't understand what the price of diesel has to do with anything. And I think that that's what separates like me and a few other people from everybody else that's in trucking. Like, I honestly don't care what the price of diesel is because for me, if the price of diesel is relative to trucking, the more it costs for a gallon of diesel, the more I charge for the load. Now, if you just sitting around running, the same rates and it's $5 per mile, it's $5 per gallon now, and you running rates like it's 250 per gallon, that's like a problem with your business model. That ain't a problem with diesel prices. And if you locked into a contract, I'm sure there's some type of provisions in that contract that would address like a outrageous increase in diesel that the fuel surcharge not gonna cover. The fuel surcharge not gonna cover it if it go up too high. I mean, it's gonna help out, but you're gonna be in trouble. But we ain't even gonna talk about contracted freight because once you enter into that contract, if you ain't got certain provisions in place, that's on you. We just gonna talk about the regular people that's running loads off the load board, and they like, oh, well, diesel prices this, and the broker's doing this, the broker's doing that. Hey man, stop trying to shift accountability. Take accountability for not being smart in the way that you run in your business. The broker cannot give you any load that you don't accept. There's no, if you on the load board, there's no forced loads on the load board. So if you don't like the price that the broker offering for the load, guess what? Don't take the load. You ain't really got to come on YouTube and complain about it. Just don't take the load. It ain't the broker fault that it's people out there who are running the freight for pennies on the dollar because they had a bad business plan from the start. Now they trying to come out the hole. So they gonna run it for next to nothing. So the broker ain't just coming up with these prices. These prices are coming from somewhere. And 9 times out of 10, it's because people running those loads at that rate. That's why they start out low, and then when they don't move the load, they keep going up. But I don't worry about the price of diesel. As the diesel prices go up, my fee goes up. I just raise my price. And I don't sit there and do a lot of arguing with them. They be like, oh, well, that's too much or whatever. I'll be like, look, diesel $5 a gallon, man. Either you want the truck or you don't. And if they don't want the truck, I'll sit it. A lot of people like, oh, well, I can't afford to sit. Depending on how long you've been in trucking, if you can't afford to sit, then we need to look at your business model. You know what I'm saying? We need to look at something because something ain't right. Like you should be making enough money to where if you can't afford to sit, you can't afford to get sick. You can't afford to go to somebody's birthday party. You can't afford to take a vacation. It's just some things. I'm like, if you can't afford to sit, it's a lot of things you can't afford to do. And that's because you didn't set it up the right way from the very beginning. And I know people like all this, all that. Nah, man. You didn't do something right. And this finna separate the men from the boys in trucking right here, especially if the diesel prices keep going up. But like I said, I don't worry about the diesel prices. I don't care what it get to at the pump. All I do is raise my price. They don't give me what I want. I don't even go start the truck up. I'll go do something else. Hey, look, man, this your boy Ice Water 815, man. I just want y'all to know that if you worried about the diesel prices, you probably in the wrong business because your philosophy is all wrong about trucking. If you complaining about how high diesel is, trucking might be for you. You just probably shouldn't be a business operator or owner operator, however you want to phrase it. If the diesel prices make you mad, you shouldn't have your own authority. You know what I'm saying? You should just be working for a company, getting as many fuel discounts as you can and doing forced dispatch and all that there. That way your complaints will actually make sense. If you're an owner operator and you booking your own loads or whatever, you finding your own freight, then you shouldn't be complaining about the diesel prices, period. It's all relative. When the diesel prices go down, the price of the freight gonna go down.
Been through a lot of pain in my life, and I pray the Lord take it all away.